Hi everyone and welcome to the Watch CEO channel. Today I am back with another unboxing video for you. Today I want to show you a very interesting Rolex watch that seemed to be long forgotten, even though its history is quite interesting. Today I'll be talking about Rolex Datejust. However, it is not going to be a normal Datejust. This Datejust is known as probably the only Datejust chronograph, even though the movement isn't a chronograph movement at all. However, bear with me, I'll show you and explain everything along the way. So I purchased this watch online a few days ago. I haven't seen this watch in the flesh yet, so I'm even more interested to see what's inside. In here you've got a service receipt from Rolex, so I'll read back everything that was done to it. So full service, meaning the parts of the movement were dismantled. Okay, new crown and new oscillating weight. These were the parts that were required to actually conduct a full service with Rolex. I can accept that, that's okay. So, this watch, as you can see, it's pre-2015, as the box is the old green box. And let's have a look what we have inside. Let me just take the box out from this outer box and just leave this somewhere else. Let's see what's underneath. But a lot of people who are into watches, you'd probably know which watch I am going to talk about, because I said to it it's a chronograph, so this is the only watch that could be a chronograph. But let's have a look at the configuration of that actual watch. So there you go. What do you think about that, guys? In front of you, you can see a Rolex Datejust reference 116264 called Chronograph. And basically turn refers to turning basically, and the graph refers to chronograph. And you might ask, why is it a chronograph watch despite there is no chronograph subdials? If you look at the bezel here, you can see the actual minute marks. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and so on up to 60. 12 o'clock we've got the full triangle. But if you focus on this watch, you don't need the actual chronograph subdials to count time for you. Yes, you could have them and it's much easier because that's the classic chronograph function, but Rolex, they thought the other way around. Instead of putting additional component to the movement that would be a chronograph function within, they have thought, how about create a rotating bezel that can be your chronograph up to 60 minutes. So you can basically time 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, up to 60 minutes. And this is your chronograph regardless of how it sounds. Let's focus on the watch a bit later. I'll show you what came with it as well. So both swing tags. This one would contain the serial number and model number of the watch. Brown swing tag. So this is the old style. Right now with new watches you get green one. What else do we have? Okay. Green leather wallet containing warranty certificate, the service manual, translation booklet so-called, the original Rolex calendar. I really like how Rolex could come up with those nice accessories to come with boxes. So we've got the calendar for 2007 and 8, because this watch is dated 2008, even though it was manufactured in 2006. There you go. It's a beautiful touch. This is the service warranty card. It's quite flimsy, but the only point of this card is to actually state that this watch has received a full overhaul by Rolex, and if there is anything wrong in terms of the mechanical insides, you can always go back to Rolex service center and have it reserviced by 2-year warranty. So it's always good to have, and every single watch you buy that doesn't have box or papers, it's good to actually have it serviced with Rolex, and that's your additional provenance for the watch. On the original invoice you would have details of your timepiece that you purchased, so this serves as a nice provenance. However, it's not going to replace your original papers, but it's a nice provenance to have with your timepiece. Manual booklet, so you can learn how to wind the watch, how to operate it, and what do these mean. So for example, this tag, it's a seal of Rolex, so it should be running within the certain parameters, but it's not a new watch anymore, so I don't expect perfect timing on it anymore. And this is our original papers. This is probably the most important piece of provenance for every single timepiece. It's a paper certificate, quite fragile, so be careful with it. Beautiful certificate, there you go. That's how you tell real papers from the fake ones. Fake papers, they're always blurry. The definition is just not there and the quality isn't there, and as you can see, the watermarks that say Rolex in a very long and boring sequence. However, this is one of the security features. This watch indeed is an original Rolex watch. This whole set that I got with this timepiece, it is a beautiful watch. So this is what we call a full set, maybe less the purchase receipt, but for older watches like this it doesn't really count. So I've got both swing tags, I've got warranty certificate, calendar, 2 manuals, green leather wallet and some service papers. This watch is good to be worn and enjoyed on the wrist. This chronograph feature is quite simple. You basically aim this triangle to the minute hand. If you want to count 5 minutes, then the minute hand will go to the 5-minute mark, and that's how you know the 5 minutes have passed. And if you want to wait 30 minutes, then you'll know that 30 minutes from now it's going to be there. It's quite actually brilliant and genius how simple is this chronograph watch. So I don't know why this timepiece has been so neglected and underrated for such a long time. I think Rolex, they've always thought of this watch as something in between Rolex Submariners and also Datejust. So I think that's what they thought of this timepiece, because originally when you Google the original Chronograph, it looked so much like a Submariner. It didn't look like this Datejust that you are seeing right now. It looked like a proper Submariner, even though it wasn't. You could have actually called the original Chronograph as a prototype into Submariner range. So right now I'm going to show you all the functions there. Winding, one click is going to be the date function, but I always skip it to the hours and minutes. There you go. Go past midnight, set that time nicely, there you go. And as you can see, the date wheel is red. This combination is just so easy to read. Date wheel is red, Chronograph font is red, second hand is also red, and you basically get a standard Datejust, but all these differences, they make this watch stand out so much. So anyone who is looking for something more special than a normal Datejust should be aiming for something like this. There you go, Jubilee bracelet. I think when we talk about Chronographs, the bracelet is quite rare, because if you go to Chrono24, then you can see a lot of these timepieces with oyster bracelets and not the Jubilee one. So yeah, I really like this watch. It's something interesting, it's something different than a normal Datejust. I'll show you how it looks on my wrist. I probably have to take some links out from the watch as it's a full complete bracelet. I have to make some adjustments. This is how the watch looks on my wrist. To be honest with you, this 36mm case looks a bit small on my wrist, as I am quite used to wearing Panerais by now, so it appears just slightly small, but I'll get used to it once I had it on my wrist for a few days. Beautiful, beautiful. This bezel is also white gold, so you can see it's not as white as the rest of the case and the bracelet. You can see some minor fading to the ink on the triangle and some numerals, but I think they only add some character to it more than anything. Nobody expects these watches to be brand new, as this example is from 2008. I am happy. There you go. There's also caseback sticker on it, so quite a nice example, I must tell you guys. The serial number is engraved inside the case there. You have the Rolex sequence, everything checks out. I've got all the papers for the watch, and I think that's it, guys, in this unboxing video. I'm happy that you decided to tag along and have a look at this interesting Chronograph, which in my opinion should be way more popular, and I think the current market prices are changing to prove the point that every single unpopular watch will eventually become popular and sought after. I think the hype for Chronograph is just going to start, given that all the other watches have become just way too expensive, and this tiny body here is just about right in terms of prices, and I'm really happy to see it on my wrist now. I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe to the Watch CEO channel and stay tuned for more. Bye!